Good afternoon and welcome to Legacy After the Locker Room. I'm your host, Kayla Bradham, here today with very special guest, former NFL alumni, Kitrick Taylor. Welcome, Kitrick.
Thank you. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. So let's just start off. Everybody knows you. You're a claim to fame. You catch Brett Favre's first catch. What did that feel like to be on the Packer team? I know you played on, before that, but coming to the Packers and catching that first catch, that historical moment. What were you feeling, Kitrick?
Wow. Just when I first got into um, Green Bay, it was a different feel because it's football, and it was just playing on the same field. At one point, it was just Mikowski and Brett, but Mikowski was starting. But the training camps were excellent. I had a great time. It wasn't a whole lot to do, of course, in Green Bay, but just thinking it. But it was it was good because it kept me focused at that time. But just being able to practice there was great. I just recall that game. It was I was not the starter at the time. I was behind Sterling Sharp, and Brett Favre actually wasn't the starter at the time. He was behind Mikowski. And ironically, both of those players, they get hurt. And of course, the backups got to come in and make it happen. So we're down and we have to score. I come in the game. I'm like really just honestly, I'm nervous because just something told me that, they're not going to worry about you. You haven't played but 3 or 4 plays that whole game. And I went there and I got in the huddle. Brett Favre's in the huddle. He's a very energetic guy. I just remember this vividly. One of the greatest feelings in the world just to hear him call a play and me in the huddle. And now the crowd's crazy and we got to score. So Brett sends us all deep and because we got to score. And we're on the 35-yard line, I believe. And I'm spread right, actually. And when I line up, I'm looking at their defense. 1 second. Let me turn this off if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm trying to get to I'm very sorry, you guys.
Hey, you know what? This is what real life looks like, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right. Okay, so
Wait, just tell us you're watching some sports and then it's all good.
Actually I was. It was sports. Yeah, it was actually some sports on there. Sports guy. So as I line up and I see the defense, and it's literally like I knew it was a possibility that you're gonna, have to make this catch to win. As I run down the sideline, the cornerback stays still. He's in the cover 2. That means he stays up, and the safety have to get over where I am. The safety never got over where I am, and I'm like, wow, I'm running by myself. And I just remember him. I look back, and he pumped inside, and to get the safety to stay where he was because he's a smart quarterback, and he throws me the ball. And I'm telling you, the lights seemed like the lights went out. Ball's coming. I just opened my hands, and there was the ball. And it was a great feeling. I just put my hands in the air after I crossed the end zone, and it was a great feeling. I can't describe it after that.
Well, let me tell you, your fans feel that great feeling. We all love that. We all remember. It's been so nice as I've been promoting you on the show. A lot of people have been like, oh, he's one of my favorite Packers. But
Wow.
Kitrick, I got to share a fun fact with you that I don't know if you know.
Okay.
I don't know how long you and I have known each other, quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
But St. Norbert College is my alumni.
Oh.
And I was the girl staying up in the summers trying to put myself through college, working 4 jobs,
Mm.
giving you your food through the lunch line, washing up your dishes, doing all the
Are you
catering
serious?
during.
Wow.
And when you said Mikowski, it's what really made me think about it. You probably remember this, him laying out in front of the statues in his Speedos and his cowboy boots,
Yes,
sun tanning. I was
I
like,
remember that.
can you maybe put clothes on? Maybe. You remember that, don't
I
you?
do remember that. Actually, I just wow. As my memory, yeah, I do remember. Yeah, that's funny.
Good
That was funny.
times, good times.
And that's what we did. That's what it was all about. You had to have good times, just to keep going with all the pressure that comes to. But you have to have those moments every now and then.
Absolutely. So speaking of pressure and good moments, I don't want the whole focus of this show to be about you in the NFL because I want it to be about how you're making the world a better place afterwards. But let's talk about your opportunities to get in the NFL. Can you tell us about your childhood experience and what things got you into the NFL?
Yes, and that's a great question. I'm writing a book now, which I'm sure we'll get to. But I just remember when I was little, it was just my family was sports. When I was 7 to 8, we were outside in the streets, unlike these guys now, But we're outside in the streets competing and wanting to be better than each other. And it was just something that I just took pride in doing throughout my early life. And I became good at it. God blessed me to be good at it. Basketball more so, better than football, actually. So my dream was to be football and basketball, but I preferred basketball. But football was it. I was a quarterback when I came in high school. Just dealt with saw a lot of negative things happening. I was an athlete. There was a lot of gangs that were around. I knew gang members. I knew I knew the bad life, but because I was good in sports, those guys wouldn't allow me to even participate. But just to see a lot of things that happened in the family, a lot of things that happened around my surroundings, I just focused on football, and I was just one of the lucky guys to get a scholarship, which was just totally just way out. Just that's God too, but got a scholarship to Washington State out of the midst of what was happening. We had a lot of guys better than me coming up, but just I think it was more so my focus and just what I decided to say, hey, this is what I want to do. And it happened for me. And I got the scholarship to Washington State.
Well, what a blessing. So you played in the NFL for what, 5 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years. Okay. Favorite team to play for?
Okay, my favorite. Oh, you put me on the spot.
I have to. It's my job. They pay me for that.
I have a Green Bay jersey back here, but I want to use the word I had my greatest moments in San Diego. So San Diego Chargers was because I impacted more as an NFL player because I played a lot more. So San Diego was pretty much, if you want to say, the better favorite team for me.
And I think that's very fair. I think that's very fair. So it's a lot more fun when you're on the field instead of on the sideline, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
All right. So I'm getting ready. You're my last podcast guest before I head down to the Super Bowl with Sports Philanthropy Network and Stables Media. So next Saturday, we'll be streaming live from Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Super Bowl pick. Who you got?
All right. So I did play for Kansas City. Brady is a winner. I know that, but I'm going to have to go actually with Kansas City. I know Brady's a winner, but I think Kansas City is probably going to win that game.
Okay, I'm seeing you taking your bet. I got my eyes on Kansas City too, so it'll be interesting to see.
Don't hurt.
All right. So let's talk about life after the NFL, Kitrick. Okay. Share your story with us. If you don't mind, let our listeners know who Kitrick Taylor is. Married, 3 boys, right?
Actually, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, 3 boys. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us the heart of Kitrick Taylor, the quiet smile.
It's a thing. I think if one was to describe me and know who I am, it's all about heart. This smile, I wrote in this book called Behind the Quiet Smile. And this smile, it's a generous smile, but it's a lot behind the smile. And I've experienced a lot. I've caused a lot of hurt on myself, a lot of pain on myself, but also reaped some rewards for doing the right things and working hard and being successful. But for me, it's more so, I'm just a giving guy. I want everyone to be well. I want everyone to have before me. And I went through after football, I went through a divorce of 16 years. And I wouldn't, there's a lot of things happened during those times. It's mentioned in my book. But now I'm remarried to a beautiful lady who is supportive. She has 4 kids. She has a daughter 28 now and a daughter 25, I believe. I hope I'm not wrong. But yeah, and I actually have a daughter, a biological daughter who is now, she's 32, or she's 30 years old. And I have a son, biological son, 17. So we have seven, children, actually six children with the family. But right now, I'm just loving life. I'm just trying to do the right things, working on doing the right things. When I say trying, but I'm working to be a perfectionist, but that's where I am now. But I'm just a loving guy. I'm just one of those persons that, I will give you the shirt off my back if I had it, and you don't have it, you have it first. So that's just me.
That's that's fabulous. I think it's what makes you special. You know, I'm competitive. I have 8 children. Have you beat
Wow.
all day
we
long?
got, we got, a,
But
we got a football team there.
and I love it. My house is so loud and
Yeah.
crazy. I just
Wow.
love it. Unless they start wrestling, then I don't love it.
Yes, yes. Well, I have two sons. I did mention that. Exactly. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. When they start
Activity.
wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So, Kitrick, you know, the whole blended family thing and making that work and having a bunch of kids and step parents and things like that. Do you have any advice on what it takes to make that work?
Patience. Patience, patience, patience. You going into another family that already have their makeup. They already set in their ways. The kids and with my wife, same with me and my kids. Everyone had their set in their ways, so you have to be patient. Now I'm saying this because there was time when I wasn't patient. I say, why is this happening? I don't understand why they're doing that. But I went through enough of that to where I can sit here and say you have to have patience. Learn the kids, learn the other kids. Yeah, I'm learning my wife daily. So you have to learn while you're going through this, and you can't just jump the gun. But patience is key, especially when you have that many individuals coming together as one.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of transition a little bit, if you don't mind, into what you've been doing to make the world a better place, because I'm all about hope and possibility through sports, right? And it's one of the things I admire so much about you is how hard you're truly working to make the world better. I know you're writing a book. Spoiler alert for our guests, our listeners.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about that, okay?
Okay, so after I got out of the NFL, I went into coaching high school. I was a head track coach, and I went into basketball, the head girls basketball coach. I just start giving back. I wanted to, to give what I've learned and experienced as far as on the playing field, as far as running, as far as conditioning, things like that. I went back to help little kids as far as just wanted them to reach their goal. And that was became my passion. I was just coaching and individual clinics, I'm holding just to give them what I know that they're going to need. So I went on coaching. I joined the group home field in 2001, which I'm in now. This is 19 years, just working in a group home field. I'm in a residential facility for kids 8 to 14, just being that what we're called child care workers, but you are a counselor, you're a dad, you're all those titles in one, but just trying to help these kids become better kids and become what they want to be. Although it's difficult, but I find pride in doing that. And it's just, it just makes me feel proud when they are able to just one little success, one little goal that they reach is a great thing to see. So again, I'm giving back. I want to give back to help these kids. And in general, people, some college kids come to me, can you train me? Can you, I know you made it there, so I'm there. That's just me. But I just want to give to the world as far as what they need to become better people.
That's awesome. And you said a word that really pricked my ears, and it was coaching. And I want to ask you, who was the best coach that you had? Who influenced you the most?
Um, I go back to the whole when I started. Frank Gantz was the head football coach at Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just talking on the upper level. And Frank Gantz was a type of coach where you have to always be alert. You have to pay attention to the small details. And Frank Gantz was a guy that I was watching how he coached, how he went to each person. He wasn't just a one person. He was a person that went to each player. How you doing? You doing good? Okay, you get better at this today. You're gonna be good. So he was always that person that was giving himself to us, and you can trust and count on him to do what he says so that you can become better. He's always registered in my mind. Frank Gantz was a great coach. and I will never forget him.
That's awesome. So, just real quick, you're listening to Legacy After the Locker Room. My name is Kayla Brad. I'm here today with Kitrick Taylor, NFL alumni, notable for playing for the Green Bay Packers, catching Brett Favre's first catch. We are sponsored by Stables Media and Sports Philanthropy Network, and sponsored by Vidget, the sports social app. Kitrick, we've talked about coaching, we've talked about your career in the NFL, but I want to talk about your book, okay? First question, name of the book.
Okay, the name of the book is Behind the Quiet Smile, and in parentheses, of course, we talked about this, The Life of Me, and
I
that's
love it.
the book.
Okay, so why? What prompted you to write the book? What stirred your soul?
I don't know. Well, actually, the why was, I guess, about 4 years ago. I'm laying up and, I'm starting to think about my life. I'm starting to think about, again, that help person. How can I help? How can I, help people that are coming up, doing what I'm doing and just doing things in life, not fall in these pit holes and these pitfalls, or, get I guess attracted to these pitfalls and things that I see, and how to become successful. So God just literally just said, it's time to write your book, write your life. I'm like, why my life? Why, I'm not going to say I was disobedient, but at one point I was like, I don't know. About 2 years ago, it was like, you're going to do it because, I'm just a believer. And when God says something's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I began to start thinking, like asking how, so just it came to write a book, not just a regular book, write a different type of book. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you're going to be transparent with your life. You're going to write a book that's transparent. You're going to write a book that how you lived your life, factual experiences. You're going to write from the time you were 8 all the way up until the time that you're 55. And I'm saying true stories, good, bad, but it's all about wanting someone to understand, I made these choices, I did these things, and this is where it's going to get you when you make the bad choice. I did these things. This is what it's going to get you if you work hard to be successful. So I wrote this book just to inspire someone, when they see green light go, when they see a red light, just to alert them of what's a red light, basically. Stop. Don't just keep going. And that's just me. And so I wrote this book, just straight, transparent stories that are pretty like live stories and no made up stories. It's just my life. And I know that after reading a book, a lot of people are going to say, what is he doing? But I know what God has shown me. But there's a lot of people going to look and say, wait a minute, I'm getting it. I see this. He said that in his book. I'm not going to go there. I'm not doing that. He said this in the book. I'm going to work hard now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that so I can, be a professional football player or just be a successful entrepreneur. And that's what it's all about. So I'm just giving my life because I'm okay. My wife is okay. And I just want everyone to just be inspired to know that you may have a story too. Everyone may have a story. You do have a story. Be transparent, because if you truly want to help somebody, you tell them what you went through, and let them from that point be however they want to go through it. Let them do that, and that's where I am. And that's behind the smile. It's a lot, but it is what it is.
Well, I appreciate that because I will just be very transparent. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way I do. As great as writing a book sounds like, and as much as I'd like to make the world a better place, I'm not sure that I could just really put my life out there like that, the way that you do. So, Kitrick, I give you so much credit for being willing and able to do that. I think it says a lot about your characters. So, I am interested in hearing, one of the stories that you have.
I'm sorry, Kate.
Hi, it's okay. You're right here. I
That
am
means
interested in hearing one of the stories from your book that you really, share with us. One of the lessons you've learned and how you've learned it. Can you do that?
I don't know. Did we get blocked? I got kicked out for a second. Was that me or you? Was that on the?
You got kicked out, but we just kept rolling. We're good.
We go. All right. So basically, just in a nutshell, when you get to this, I don't always use the NFL, but it goes all the way back, but to college and to just partying and with the NFL, you get money, you get paid. And where I went wrong per se, the money got to my head, and I had no one coaching me on what to do with the money. So I just was spending, not investing, not putting the money in the right place, partying, going out, the girls, the women, and I wasn't thinking. I was just going with the flow, going with what I thought was okay to do. And at one point in my life, I didn't have the money anymore because I didn't do the right thing. So part of my book is just making those choices when it comes to finances. That's a main thing. I just partied my money away, and I had to dig out of that. And it got me such a ditch where I didn't have anymore. And I was really crawling, like trying to figure out making ends meet. And I had to, I guess I can share, I had the football that I had to get rid of the football or auction off that game-winning football because I didn't make the right choice. But there's a story behind that. And it's a lot of things that I in the book where the experiences are going to touch you, but more so doing the right things with your finances is huge, and making the right choices when it comes to going out and doing partying and all that stuff. So that's it.
Well, I somebody just liked that comment. So thank you for the transparency. Again, the name of the book, Behind the Quiet Smile, The Life of Me. Kitrick, what is the release date for that book?
I've been, and here I get in trouble every time I put out a release date, but it's going to be this month, and I will let everyone know. You can go on my Facebook page. I'm at Kitrick Taylor, and you can friends request. I'm open to that. But the release date is going to be this month. I've said many of them, but I apologize to a lot of you guys that were waiting for it about 7 months ago, 6 months ago, but that within that span, things were happening.
All right, Kitrick, once again, dealing with some connection issues out in California. So we will bear with him, knowing that he'll be right back. And here he comes. Kitrick, welcome back. Welcome back. It's all right. We got you.
Yeah, but I know. Okay, that basically within this month.
Okay, awesome. And you said people can follow you on Facebook. How else can they get a hold of you? Is there Instagram, Twitter, email?
Actually, you can email me at kitricktaylor@yahoo.com. And even in the show, if you are interested in, just to give me an idea, if you'll be interested in the book, just to give me an idea, in the comments, if Ms. Kayla would like, will allow that, just put yes, just yes, you're interested in the book, but email me if you really wanted to be closer, I guess, as far as just understanding. I can give you more of a message back to you, but kitricktaylor@yahoo.com if you're interested, and comment here.
So, Kitrick, I work with a lot of athletes, and they guard their contact information so closely, and they're in a wall, right? Like nobody can get to them. You remind me so much of Major League Baseball, Daryl Jackson with the 1020 Foundation helping youth in California. And on the podcast, he actually gave his phone number and said, if anybody is struggling with drugs or alcohol, here's my phone number. Give me a call. I so rarely see that. And I think it really shows the heart of a man to be so transparent and so open to communicating with the fans. So I do want to say thank you. That says a lot about your character. It really does. And I know that you and I have been connected forever, and I feel like I'm just reaching out to a friend. And that means so much to me. So even to me, thank you. Let's talk for a moment, if you don't mind, and I promise we're coming back to that book. Again, it's Behind the Quiet Smile, The Life of Me. But Kitrick, I'm going to ask a favor of you, if I can put you on the spot.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I ask every guest to partner with me to support Special Olympics. It's a charity that's very dear to my heart. And Kitrick, I'm going to ask you the same thing. I guess we're over 30 athletes now. Would you please partner with me by donating an autographed item to Special Olympics?
Yes, no problem. I would love to do that.
Thank you. Any idea what it might be, Kitrick?
We can do a signed autograph book, if that's okay with you.
That's okay with me. I think a lot of people would love that.
Okay, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Yes, I'll do it.
That's fabulous.
Thank you.
When you were playing in the NFL, were you involved in any foundations or charities? Were you doing anything to try to get out there and make a difference?
No, I was not involved in any foundations or anything like that, but we did a lot of appearances, speaking at the elementaries and the high schools and things like that, but not involved in any type of charity. No.
Okay. And, again, a lot of the Green Bay Packers, Gilbert Brown, Angel Lopez, Michael Blair, all your Packer buddies, it's so neat to see them in around Wisconsin, Illinois, Chicago area, still doing all of those things, going into the schools, talking about bullying, things like that. So I think that's one thing that Packer fans should be very proud of is the way the Packer athletes are really involved in the schools and in the kids, especially in rural Wisconsin communities and our communities like Milwaukee and Chicago that really need someone to look up to. So
Oh,
thank
awesome.
you.
No problem.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Absolutely. So let's go back. Speaking of our youth, our kids who want to get into the NFL, who, maybe don't have a lot of hope for college. What's your message to the youth, Kitrick?
Just the aspiration of making it there, being there, getting there. Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
Hard
sir.
work. That first of all, you have to have the mindset, knowing that it's going to be hard work. Then you have to put in the work. It's not going to be easy. I'd be a fool or liar to tell you that it's going to be easy. You got to dedicate yourself. You got to work out when everyone else is asleep. And I did that. You got to work out when you feel like you've done enough, but it's just hard work, dedication, and believing. Don't give up hope. Don't stop saying it's not going to work. Don't say it's not going to work. It can work. I can't say you're going to get drafted in the NFL. I can't say you're going to get a full ride scholarship to college, but I can say if you work hard, if you continue to do, what you know to do, things will work out for you. So hard work, dedication, and just keep believing. And the other thing, as far as academics, I know things are happening online now, but some people always use the phrase, you got to have your academics to fall back on. I don't like to say fall back on. Make that your first, and then if the sports don't work out, you have that already. So that's just my message for everyone that's aspiring to get up, make it to the next level.
All right, and I'm going to ask you a question that I don't know the answer to. What did you major in college?
Okay, so this is so ironic. My major was sociology. I have not gotten my degree, bachelor's, but I'm only 3 classes away from receiving that bachelor's. So we talk about, and in my book, we talk about procrastination, and that's called procrastination. So now, just as we spoke yesterday, Kayla, I have 3 classes. I'm on the phone I was on the phone yesterday with DeVry because we're going to transfer all of my units to where we can work out getting my degree faster than me going back to Washington State. So I'm going to get that bachelor's degree 3 classes away, but it would be in sociology, and that's what we're working on.
Oh my gosh,
56.
I'm so glad I asked you. That's
56.
so cool.
That's part of the book.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
I
it.
need you to make sure you tell me when you graduate so that I can, send you a personal card.
Okay.
All right, Kitrick, we're down to the last minute and a half of the show.
Yes.
Parting thoughts, words of wisdom, deep thoughts, and people you need to thank.
My message to everyone, just be kind, be good to everyone. Treat others like you want to be treated. Continue to encourage because of what's going on in life right now. Encourage one another, build up one another. Just be positive, and life will be a lot easier. Don't condemn, don't do any of that to anyone, but just know that if you are helping someone else, someone is going to be helping you. And that's just my message. And my wife, is fully in support. That's what we stand by, and that's what we do. And if you go to my Facebook page, I'm always encouraging. I believe everything I'm saying. I don't just say it to be saying, to be seen. I believe it. So encourage one another, push one another through this time, and life will be a lot easier, and we'll all be okay.
I love that message. I really do. Thank you for creating hope and possibility through sports.
Thank you.
Very brave, courageous, and kind of you to do.
Thank you.
My name is Kayla Bradham here with Kitrick Taylor, The Quiet Smile. Don't forget to check out his book, Behind the Quiet Smile, The Life of Me. You can reach out to Kitrick Taylor on Facebook or email kitricktaylor@yahoo.com for more information about the book. Again, my name is Kayla Bradham, reminding you to live your legacy. Thank you, Kitrick.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Ms. Kell. I appreciate you for having me on.
Absolutely.